Is Derek's reappearance a sign that it's the end of Grey's? Why are some fans hoping that Meredith will get Alzheimer's? And what if this really isn't the final season? Hi, I'm Dylan, and you're watching Awesome Movies. Grab your PPE and scrub in. Ellen Pompeo,'s perfect ending. Fans started to get a little nervous about the show's future when Ellen Pompeo told Variety that this season might be challenging enough with all the COVID-19 precautions that it might end up being the final one. We don't know when the show is really ending yet, but the truth is, this year could be it. I mean, this is the last year of my contract right now. I don't know that this is the last year, but it could very well be it. Considering that she's the titular character and one of the few remaining original cast members after a mammoth run of 17 seasons, Ellen's opinion counts for quite a lot. So of course, we're curious about how she would wrap up the show, should that dreaded time come. In September 2019, she told James Corden that she has an idea for how it all could end.
Well, I can't really say what I think, because if we really do what I want to do, then that would give it away. I mean, I'd love to have like some of the old cast come back, like the original cast is just like...
Yes.
So, of course, when Derek reappeared in the season 17 premiere, the internet went crazy. While fans wondered if this meant the show was wrapping up, Ellen was quick to add that to read too much into her character's collapse and Derek's return was a risky move. She told Deadline, "You can't read into anything." Really, that's dangerous territory. At this point, we don't know what we're going to do. I think we're incredibly grateful to still be here and be telling these stories. And although Derek's return during Meredith's COVID dream might be the start of Ellen Pompeo,'s perfect ending for the show and the beginning of the return of several beloved characters, it's not the only theory about how Grey's will wrap up nearly 2 decades of amazing storytelling. Now let's turn to some of the best theories for the pending Grey's Anatomy finale. Hold on to your hats and grab your tissues. Theory number 1, a fatal finale. Of all the fan theories and predictions for the show's ending, this may be the most practical, as it fits well with Ellen Pompeo,'s own wish for the finale, but it's a tough one to swallow. Basically, it's the theory that Meredith dies, or almost dies. Similar to her COVID dream about being infected with the virus, this prediction relies on the fact that Meredith is knocking on heaven's door, and while doing so, thinks back or imagines all her friends and loved ones, giving the writers a chance to bring back fan favorites and give a little much-needed closure. Maybe Alex, Izzy, and Christina will be back to visit her, while she dreams of George, Lexie, and McDreamy. It's definitely not our favorite theory, but we can't deny that there have been goings-on in the show that hint at the possibility. Derek reappeared, and Link and Amelia have been babysitting Mare's kids while she's away. But what gives this theory the most credit was a possible spoiler by Kevin McKidd, who plays Owen. Chatting to Entertainment Tonight, he admitted that what you saw last week that everybody freaked out about is just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come. And the idea of the cast reuniting hasn't been shot down by the showrunner, Krista Vernoff. When asked if other characters are due to reappear, she simply teased, "You have to tune in and see who comes to the beach. It'll be a joyful discovery." So cryptic. Theory number 2, like mother, like daughter. This is probably the most well-known theory that's been doing the rounds for several years. It involves Meredith being diagnosed with the same disease that killed her mother, Alzheimer's. Early in Grey's history, Meredith tests positive for genetic markers for the disease, and it's been a recurring plotline.
What do you think about that? Scalpel. Scalpel. Do you think that's a good idea?
Clamp. Clamp.
In this sad reality, the iconic voiceovers that start every episode are actually extracts from Meredith's diary, which she is reading in her old age in order to remember her life. Or, even better, Zola has discovered the diaries and is reading them to understand her mother's crazy life. This would perfectly mirror the show's first seasons, with Meredith finding her mom's diaries. A second option for this theory is that Meredith may be misremembering her past due to dementia, or that she may have dreamed the entire thing. Sure, it's a pretty far out and kinda depressing theory, but it could mean that perhaps none of the extensive and heartbreaking dramas from the last 2 decades ever happened. In a world where Meredith's brain and memories can't be trusted, maybe, just maybe, Lexie, George, or Derek never died.
You are kind of awesome.
Of course, the opposite could also be true, that what really happened was even worse and she invented deaths and disasters to cope. But while this theory could be a neat way to bring back characters, it's way too harsh a treatment for Meredith after everything she's already gone through, so we're crossing thumbs that this prediction is a dud. Theory number 3, the wrong Grey. This theory combines the idea of Alzheimer's with the way to spare Meredith by making Maggie develop the disease. After all, the sisters share the same mother and same genetics, so it's not too far-fetched. And if you think hard enough, it could be plausible with Maggie's forgetfulness and inability to remember names, a slow start to dementia. And though it would save us from watching Meredith slowly becoming her mother, it's no less heartbreaking to think of her losing a sister again. After Lexie's death and Amelia's brain tumor, do we really want Meredith's only remaining sister to have to suffer? Besides, Maggie's been through enough awful drama of her own after finding out about her real parents and losing her mom. And if you remember how hard that hit her, we're not even sure that she could handle something as hectic as an Alzheimer's diagnosis. After all, she's not dark and twisty, nor is she used to loss the way that Meredith is.
What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't know how to do it. Sometimes you just have to push through it. Push the other aside.
So let's move on to some less depressing theories. We need a happy ending here, people. Theory number 4, Grey's Anatomy, second generation. The idea of family is central to Grey's Anatomy, and this theory centers on that by ending the show with a time jump. The reason? So that we can see that all the doctor's kids have grown up to live amazing lives, preferably following in their parents' footsteps as a new generation of EMTs, surgeons, and doctors. Just picture it. Zola Grey as the next big neurosurgeon, Leo Hunt as a trauma surgeon, or Tuck Bailey as a firefighter. I mean, these kids have been prepped for medical greatness since they were little.
What are you doing, Zola? What are you doing?
Whipple.
A whipple?
It's when you take out part of someone's pancreas.
Oh, I know what a whipple is.
You've probably seen Mommy do one.
What's great about this theory is that not only does it bring the lives of the characters full circle and gives viewers some much-needed closure, but it could even allow for a new spin-off show. Imagine it. We start with Zola's first day as an intern and her adventures in the medical world. Someone better call Shonda Rhimes because she needs to hear this and get to work. Theory number 5, and they lived happily ever after. And now for our favorite theory, the one that doesn't end in tears. This theory encompasses various awesome ideas, and we can't decide which one we like the most. It could mean a finale that's a huge party, like a retirement party for Meredith or a Harper Avery after party that brings everyone together, well, everyone that didn't die, so Alex, Izzy, and Christina primarily, for a huge event that's filled with smiles, dancing, and maybe a tequila shot or two. Alternatively, we could see Meredith decide to take the kids to Zurich and reunite with Christina in a place that has no bad memories or baggage and where she lives out her retirement with her person and a life filled with memories. This theory even has room for Derek's reappearance, as some fans have speculated that perhaps he's reappearing to finally give her his blessing to move on with her life, so she can finally let him go and flourish. And if that means she can start another romance, all the better. Theory number 6, we never have to say goodbye. Our final theory is definitely one to consider. Is it implausible and impractical? Certainly. But is it really such a bad thing if we desperately want this? Probably not. Shonda Rhimes has proven that she's the queen of creating addictive shows, like a drug pusher whose medium is great television. For 17 years, we've been glued to our screens, and we've loved every moment. So why does it have to end? For our final theory, we're imagining a world in which we never have to say goodbye to Grey Sloan Memorial. Grey's has so much going for it. Not only is it the longest-running medical drama of all time, but it won the People's Choice Awards for Best Show and Best Actress. So it makes sense that the team behind the show could carry on planning future seasons of Grey's until the end of time. Like Days of Our Lives or The Bold and the Beautiful, our kids and grandkids will be watching it. Eventually, no one will remember when the show started or how much it's changed. It'll just always be there, like a little hug from the universe to get us through life. I mean, it already has enough drama to hold its own in the soap opera category. Maybe the next milestone won't be the 18th season, but the 50th. And if you're thinking there's no chance, we're gonna give you a tiny sliver of hope, courtesy of Debbie Allen, who hinted that maybe this season isn't the end.
And this was supposed to be our last year, but I'm not sure.
Could this mean we may get more Greys? We sure as heck hope so. Did we mention your favorite Grey's Anatomy finale prediction, or do you have another idea? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time, stay awesome.